Finally, Hunter Sung Jinwoo agreed to go on the raid, putting the backpack on his back. The team then made their way to the dungeon. Before entering, the head of the squad noted that the area had been unusually turbulent recently, with even construction having been suspended. Yoo Jin-ho added that the reason for this was that their director had fled overseas with billions of won. Hunter Sung Jinwoo, however, didn't understand why Yoo Jin-ho was telling him this. Yoo Jin-ho tried to be friendly, asking the E-rank hunter if the bag was heavy. Hunter Sung Jinwoo replied that it was fine, emphasizing that he had invested characteristic points in strength, making the bag feel as light as a feather for him. Despite their brief meeting, it felt like there was some connection between them. However, Hunter Sung Jinwoo quickly reminded Jin-ho that he usually didn't pay attention to him. Then Hunter Sung Jinwoo became furious at Jin-ho's comment that hunting was just a hobby for him. This remark struck a nerve, and now, the leader announced that they had finally arrived. Compared to the gates they had seen before, this one seemed several times larger. The sheer size of this gate surprised even the C-rank hunters who had been in such dungeons many times before. Hunter Yoo Jin-ho was also visibly shocked by the massive size of the gate. However, Hunter Sung Jinwoo, having seen the S-rank gate for the first time, was not surprised by it. He emphasized that the size of the gate wasn't what mattered most. What truly mattered was the amount of energy that emanated from the gate. The look on Hunter Sung Jinwoo's face showed that he was still a little nervous, as it was his first raid in an S-rank dungeon. Despite his calm demeanor, there was a slight tension in his expression. They finally began to enter the gate. Yoo Jin-ho firmly grasped his sword and proudly showed it off. From the outside, it seemed like his rank was higher than D, which made Hunter Sung Jinwoo feel a bit envious of Yoo Jin-ho's impressive outfit. He also noted that the rest of the squad had pretty good equipment as well, especially once they were inside the dungeon. The first thing the hunters noticed was how dark it was. It was also strange that there were no glowing stones and not a single monster in sight. This made Yoo Jin-ho nervous, and he asked the E-rank hunter, "Is it possible that there are no monsters in the dungeon?" Hunter Sung Jinwoo gestured for him to be quiet and tried to concentrate, fully listening for even the slightest movement of the monsters. This dungeon was made up of many tunnels, all engulfed in darkness. Hunter Sung Jinwoo concluded that the monsters most likely preferred the darkness here and had simply yet to reveal themselves. After thinking it over, Hunter Sung Jinwoo came to the conclusion that they were dealing with insect-like monsters. Soon after all, the hunters began to fuss, visibly affected by the darkness and the overwhelming number of tunnels surrounding them. The eerie environment was starting to unsettle them. Hunter Sung Jinwoo quickly realized that the monsters would attack from above. The rest of the group was caught off guard, as the attack from above was entirely unexpected. In the dark, they could see numerous monsters with glowing red eyes. There were so many of them that they didn't completely fill the enormous tunnel, but they kept crawling, endlessly swarming and advancing toward the hunters. One of the hunters fired a magic ball into the tunnel where the ants had emerged. However, it was clear that the blast wasn't enough to kill all the ants. In response, the squad leader activated one of his abilities. After using this power, the insects began to behave strangely. It turned out that the ability allowed him to lure all the monsters toward himself, drawing them in. While the squad leader kept the monsters occupied, the rest of the hunters quickly disposed of them. Hunter Sung Jinwoo cleared the remaining monsters with impressive teamwork. He began to understand why they didn't take healers with them. The squad had clearly been fighting together for a long time. Hunter Hwan, as the leader, was very skilled in his role, guiding the team with precision and coordination. Hunter Sung Jinwoo noticed something amiss within the troop. He observed that their fighting style was a bit rough and brutal, lacking the finesse he expected from more seasoned hunters. He also couldn't forget about Yoo Jin-ho, whose equipment was excellent, likely compensating for his lack of experience in battle. While Hunter Sung Jinwoo was observing the other members of the raid, one of the insects approached him. It was clear that this monster was no match for Sung Jinwoo. As he watched the creature, his face showed a sense of disappointment. He had expected more from a C-rank dungeon. Once all the insects were finally dealt with, the team began to collect magic crystals from the corpses of the monsters. Hwan thanked Hunter Sung Jinwoo for warning them about the monsters and asked how he knew they were above them. Sung Jinwoo explained that it was thanks to his well-developed perception. Hunter Hwan then emphasized that Sung Jinwoo had good instincts and suggested that he shouldn't worry about such trivialities anymore. However, the hunters of the squad soon noticed something odd. They found a group of ants that were killed not by magic, but by being simply torn apart. The squad leader hypothesized that there had been a territorial feud between the monsters in this dungeon, which meant there were likely stronger monsters lurking around. Feeling that something was wrong, Sung Jinwoo checked with Yoo Jin-ho to see if his weapons were expensive. After confirming that they were, he advised Yoo Jin-ho to be on guard. It became clear that Hunter Hwan and his party were up to something, and Sung Jinwoo sensed that they needed to stay alert.